So let us come to the first question. As I just told you that we'll be clearing the concepts of all the topics through doing the questions. So let's do them. Let's be more visual. Let's be more logical and enhance our critical thinking, our reasoning power through these questions. And let's try to learn maths in a better way. So through this question, we understand the place value of the digits in a better way. The question is before you. It states that the number 136 is added to 5b7 and the sum obtained is 7a3, where a and b are integers. It is also given that 7a3 is exactly divisible by 3. Now, the possible values of b are, so these are the 4 options before you, and you have to tick the right option. Now, anybody who is able to comprehend the question, so we will be just doing a lot of visualization, a lot of logical reasoning, and comprehending the question right. Once we understand what the question says, what the question talks about, it will be very clear to all of you what are you supposed to do. Because most of us will be just scared. Why is this B? What will happen to this A? So let's go step by step. And I know things will just unfold for you. There is no formula we'll be using. We'll be just using pure logic. So first thing is, try and comprehend the question. And that holds for each and every question which you do in mathematics. What are you given? You're given that there are 2 addends. What are addends? The numbers which we add together. The first one is 136 and the second one is 5b7. We're also given that the sum of these 2 addends is 7a3. That means when 136 and 5b7 are added, what do you get? You get 7a3 as the sum. Now, the other part of the question also says, this is the first part of the question which we could comprehend very easily. The second part of the question says that a and b are integers and 7a3 is exactly divisible by 3. And we have to find out the value of b. So let's start again comprehending it. Whatever we are given, try to resolve it. Let's do that. Now, in this question, divisibility of the sum 7a3 by 3 is kind of the first working clue. And what is the other condition which is given to us? That 136 is added to 5b7 to get the sum 7a3. So what do we do first? We add the units. When we add 6 and 7, we get 13. Now, what do you understand by 13? We'll be, trying to visualize the numbers very soon and it'll be more clear to you again. When we visualize the number 13, there are 3 packets of 1 and 1 tens. So when we're adding the units, we'll just have a 3 here. The other 1 tens, would be carried over to the tens place. So 110 is a carryover at the tens place. Now there's another clue. Let us look at the hundreds place because the tens place contains a B. So let us look at the hundreds place now. And what do we get? We have, when we add 1 and 5, we get a 7. That means there is some carryover to the hundreds place also. But that carryover is from the tens place. That carryover is from the tens place. And I'm sure you all know that what should be added to 1 and 5 to get the sum as 7? It is 1. So 1 has been carried over from the tens place to the hundredths place. Okay, further. Now, what do we know now? Since there is a carryover at the hundredths place, and that is from the tens place, yes, you all guessed it right, that when we add 1, 3, and B, we should have a number which is greater than or equal to 10. Why? Because only then we'll have a carryover at the hundredths place. So what does this mean? That 4 plus B should always be greater than or equal to 10. Only then there can be a carryover. That means B is a number which is always greater than or equal to 6. So let us find out that digit B. We're talking about the digit B, which is greater than or equal to 6. So in that case, we have these options that when B is 6, your A would be 0 because you have 4 plus 6, that is 10. So 1 would be carried over to the hundredths place, and at the tens place, we'll have a 0. So at the tens place, we'll have a 0. So A would be equal to 0. And what would be when your B is 7? It will be 1 plus 3 plus 7, which will give us 11. That means 1 would be at the tens place, and the other one would be carried over to the hundredths place. That means A would be equal to 1. And similarly, when B could be 8, your A could be 2. And when B is 9, A is equal to 3. So these are the 4 options which we need to explore, because B is a digit here. It's a digit here, and it has to be a digit which is greater than or equal to 6. So we have these 4 options, and corresponding to B, we have these options of A to be 0, 1, 2, or 3. So this is what we get when we work with the first clue. And what was the first clue? That when 136 is added to 5B7, we get the sum as 7A3. Now, to get the exact value of B, because we have 4 possibilities of B, we need to work with the second clue. What is the second clue? It talks about the divisibility of 7A3 by 3. And when is a numeral divisible by 3? It is only if the sum of the digits is divisible by 3. Whenever you add all the digits here, whenever it is divisible by 3, that numeral would be divisible by 3. So we basically need to add all these digits, 7 with A and 3, to get a number which is divisible by 3. If that is divisible by 3, the numeral 7A3 would be divisible by 3. So let us work on that. So 7 plus A plus 3 gives us 10 plus A. So we need to identify what could this A be equal to. So 10 plus A obviously cannot be 21 or 24, because these numbers are all divisible by 3. They cannot be 21, 24. Why? Because we have that A is either 0, or it is 1, or it is 2, or it is 3. So you have to choose from these 4 options what is the possible value of A, such that 7A3 is divisible by 3. So let us assume that if A is equal to 0, what is the numeral which we get? It is 703. And when we add the digits here, what are we getting? 7 plus 0 plus 3. We get it as 10. And we all know that 10 is not divisible by 3. So A cannot be equal to 0. Similarly, if we assume that A is 1, 783 would be the numeral 713. And when we add the digits here, we get the sum as 11, which is again not divisible by 3. So therefore, A cannot be equal to 1. If we assume A equal to 2, we get 783 as the numeral 723. And when we add the digits here, we get that to be equal to 12, where 12 is definitely divisible by 3. So therefore, the option for the value of A is 2. And similarly, you can now know that when we assume A to be equal to 3, and when we add the digits, we get the sum to be equal to 13, which is not divisible by 3. So therefore, the only option for A is to be equal to 2. So the sum is 723. And how do we find out the value of B now? We can directly subtract 723 and 136. We can find out the difference and we get the value of B as 8. And you can go and tick the correct options for that. So I'm sure the little knowledge about place value and face value, it'll just enhance your reasoning skills now. We did not use anything here. We're just using pure logic. We're just trying to comprehend the question.